The Daytona 500 pole has been officially set for the 2023 Daytona 500, and just like many years before, Hendrick Motorsports once again dominates with the poles for the Daytona 500. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. I just got done watching pole qualifying for the 2023 Daytona 500. We got some stuff to talk about from it. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Just like many times before and many years before, Hendrick Motorsports once again has dominated pole qualifying for Daytona 500. And for the sixth straight year, Alex Bowman is on the front row, and he wins the pole for the second year in the last 3 years, and has now a record for the basically completely holds the record for the most front row starts in the Daytona 500. Look, that 48 car is just completely built different for the Daytona 500, and it's not a shock or surprise. Hendrick Motorsports always brings really fast pieces and really strong equipment, so he will start on the pole in this year's Daytona 500. Again, it doesn't matter the crew chief, doesn't matter what major changes they make, engineers-wise or whatever. If you have good engineers on your team, you're going to win the pole for the 500, and Hendrick Motorsports is just completely dominated. I mean, Mike Joy just mentioned this, that Hendrick Motorsports has been on the front row for 40% of the Daytona 500 qualifyings, which is absolutely insane. But massive congratulations to Alex Bowman on winning the pole for the Daytona 500. He'll be joined on the front row by Kyle Larson in this year's Daytona 500. It's basically a swap from last year because Kyle Larson won the pole for last year's Daytona 500 and Alex Bowman started second. This year, it's the opposite with Alex Bowman being on the pole and Kyle Larson starting second. Larson is this close. Well, he's almost 2/10 off of Alex Bowman. They just put something different in that 48 car and a massive front row start, though, for Kyle Larson, who qualified second. William Byron qualified in third. Really good qualifying run from William Byron. Basically the third best Chevy. Basically the third best Hendrick car. He qualifies third. Eric Almirola, who was really fast in last year's Daytona 500 qualifying, he qualifies fourth. Joe Logano, really fast paced. He qualifies fifth. Chase Briscoe, who I thought was going to be challenging the Hendrick cars for the pole this year, didn't cool off too quick. He qualified sixth. Ryan Blaney qualifies in seventh. Austin qualified in eighth. Harrison Burton qualified ninth. And Kyle Busch actually was seventh or eighth at the time, but his time was disallowed for basically going under the yellow line and nearly colliding into Cindric in qualifying in the second round. But still, 10th place is not bad for tomorrow night. He will start fifth in duel number 2. And then after that, Bubba Wallace ended up qualifying 11th, so solid run. Nearly was off by only 1/1000th of a second. Came very close to locking his way into the Daytona 500 or the second round of the Daytona 500. But speaking of which, let's talk about the open cars because the top 2 open cars, that was really the biggest story besides who got on the front row for the Daytona 500, was going to be the top 2 open cars. The 6 cars that were open cars, of course, were Chandler Smith in the 13, Zane Smith in the 36, Jimmy Johnson 84, Travis Stroll in the 67, Connor Daly in the 50, and Austin Hill in the 62. Chandler Smith had some problems getting going, getting up on the racetrack, and unfortunately, he was the worst qualifier of the cars that took time because Connor Daly basically had a broken oil line or something like that that completely exploded. He was not able to take a time. The top 2 drivers, they'd be able, though, of the open cars to make it to this year's Daytona 500 are Jimmy Johnson and Travis Pastrana. The 2 drivers who I personally wanted to make the Daytona 500 will not have to worry about making it into the duels from but tomorrow night. They are locked into this year's Daytona 500. Absolutely huge and massive congratulations to both Jimmy Johnson and Travis Pastrana. Like I mentioned, they were 2 that I really wanted to make it in this year's Daytona 500, and I'm extremely pumped up and happy for both of those guys. They don't have to worry about making it. Now they can just focus on having good races, and they will be really strong. I believe then the next are Zane Smith and Austin Hill. I believe that Zane Smith was the 3rd best qualifier. So if Jimmy Johnson qualifies, basically, I think he's in duel number 1 or duel number 2. If he's in duel number 1, he's able to make it in. Jimmy to be the fastest. We'll see Zane Smith make it. So I really think it'll be Zane Smith and Austin Hill making it. I think Chandler Smith and Connor Daly goes home, unfortunately. I think Zane Smith and Austin Hill. But now we transition, talk about the rest of the drivers. Massive congratulations to the Hendrick cars. SHR looked pretty solid, but unfortunately, I think two SHR cars made it. Joe Gibbs Racing just looked not that fast. The fastest Toyota in general was Bubba Wallace in 11th. Toyota really kind of struggled in qualifying, but they focused a lot more on the race than qualifying. So it's not a complete shock or completely surprised that they were not fast, really, besides Bubba Wallace. The fastest Joe Gibbs car was 19th, and that was Ty Gibbs, the rookie. But like I said, massive congratulations to the pole sitter being Alex Bowman, Hendrick Motorsports once again. They were extremely dominant once again in qualifying, and they will start on the pole for this year's Daytona 500 for the 6th year in a row. Pending, of course, they don't end up crashing out of the Daytona 500 or having issues, of course, in crashing out of the duels. Hopefully they don't have any issues, and they're able to make it. So that is it for the reaction video to Daytona 500 pole qualifying. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, as support me on Patreon as well. Links are below that, and comment below your thoughts below on today's video. What are your thoughts about Alex Wynn and Kyle Larson sitting on the front row? Let me know in the comments below. Tomorrow on my channel, we're going to have a paint scheme look at all the paint schemes for this year's Daytona 500, and we will also have reactions from Duel 1 and Duel 2 of this year's dual races tomorrow night. Then Friday, we're going to have a NASCAR news video, and then, of course, we will also have reactions to the truck race as well. Saturday, we'll have reactions maybe to the ARCA race as well, and also the Xfinity Series race, and Sunday, we'll have reactions to the Cup race. And I think also coming out Friday will be the starting lineup video, or Saturday morning will be the starting lineup video for the 2023 Daytona 500. So anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for some more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.